Oh, man. Welcome, everybody, to an awesome and what a special episode of Homesick Philly Bros. Usually we say we're going to talk about a variety of things, but I think we're going to talk about one thing, and that's the Birds going to the Super Bowl. I am Gene Labordi. This is my brother Steven Labordi, and on the board doing all the work is Rachel Labordi. This is Homesick Philly Bros presented by AML Media. Thank you, Mom. Love you. Give us a little more magic this week. But Rachel, before we get into it, can you tell us where they can find us?
Okay, we are on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and Patreon. All of our social media handles are on the screen, so take a screenshot if you're watching the video, or you can go to our website for all of our direct links. The website is aml.news.blog.
Thank you for that. Well done as always.
Super Bowl week, dude.
This is Super Bowl week. I got my present for my birthday on January 29th of the Eagles winning the NFC East, or NFC. And hopefully for your birthday, you will get the best present I think you could ask for, and that is our ever-gracious Birds winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I mean, we've already won one, so we're kind of in the cool club now. But, yeah, the game falls almost on my birthday. So.
And it's, what can you say? We made it to the Super Bowl. It's been a magical year. If you don't know, I can't believe you're watching this show, but it's Eagles versus the Chiefs in Arizona. It's going to be a good game. There's a lot of Super Bowls that have not been good games.
Not recently, but yeah, definitely like growing up, like when the Cowboys were beasts and the Niners, there was a lot of one-sided games. But recently, they've been good. And a lot of comebacks, which I hope we don't have to deal with this week. I hope it's a bad game. I hope the Eagles do to the Chiefs what they did to the Giants and the Niners. I don't even want a close game. I want to be celebrating and hugging the whole game.
I want our backups. I don't think they would ever do that.
I want to be tickling you and slapping high fives.
Yeah, and it's funny how, like, I don't think, for us anyway, you don't have to build up anything for a Super Bowl or an Eagles game, but all the people out there trying to make, these storylines.
Yeah.
The Kelsey brothers, which that is cool. First brothers to play each other in a Super Bowl. And also Kansas City, you're welcome that Jason Kelsey is such a nice guy and basically saved his career.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Was a bit of a wild card.
Yeah, for smoking the marijuana and a Division I football scholarship.
You know what's funny? Real quick, like he's now reinvigorated the term jabroni, and can we be honest? He's one of the bigger jabronis.
Yeah.
Like if you want a term, which Kelsey brother is a jabroni?
Let's just put it to rest. Jason Kelsey's the better brother.
He should run for president, bro.
He could maybe win. He could get a political position in Philadelphia.
Definitely, he could be the governor of Pennsylvania or something.
But so let's put that to rest. Jason Kelsey better than Travis Kelsey as far as personality goes, and your big brother saved your career. You could be, if he didn't take you under his wing in college like that, you could be bagging groceries, dude. You could be 6'7" bagging groceries.
Not that there's anything wrong with bagging groceries. It's a service that when you go to check out the grocery store and there's no one bagging your groceries and you got to do it yourself.
It is.
It's annoying.
And I'm right at the exact height where I have to do a weird. My back hurts if I have to do it for a long time.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But real quick, our last trip to Glendale was not a good one. If you remember, we lost to the Cardinals in that NFC Championship game, and we were good. That team was better than the Cardinals and fucking Kurt Warner. Anywho, this one's going to be better. I'm pretty confident.
New team. You know what I mean? We sent Zach Ertz there to basically get rid of the bad mojo. Zach Ertz sucked up all the bad mojo for us.
Yeah. It's one of the. We never really play that well in Arizona. This season, we didn't play well in Arizona. I'm not. What I'm saying, it's not relevant, but it is kind of relevant.
And for each team, I don't know their weather, but I don't think either one has an advantage of being a warm team or a cold team.
Nah, that's why they have the Super Bowls in these neutral kind of fair weather locales.
Can you remember, and I probably should know this, has there been a Super Bowl recently in Lambeau?
No. If it's in a cold weather city, it's an indoor place. Like when we went to Minneapolis,
Yeah.
it was like -6 degrees, and everyone who had to cover the game hated it.
I guess for us, we would like it, but as far as ticket sales and all the big money, they wouldn't want to do it. But then back to the storyline. Go ahead.
It is cool. I mean, they should try to have more outdoor Super Bowls. You know,
I agree. And
if it rains,
it's probably it's just because we've talked about this. The Super Bowl, there's probably more people that watch the halftime than they do the game anymore.
Yeah, and all over the world too. People who don't watch a football game all year tune into the Super Bowl.
I mean, all of Barbados is going to watch. I don't know how many TVs they have there, but they're all going to gather around their community TV, and they want to see Rihanna.
Oh yeah, she's pretty.
And a good singer. But back to the storylines. Kelsey brothers, that one I think is cool. The Andy Reid being an ex-Eagle, was our coach for a long time. I think it's been such a long time ago, and we've had 4 coaches since then.
Yeah, 4.
So we still, I think the fans, anyone my age or older, still has respect for the guy. But those ties are
for
cut.
the fans. It's we've moved on, but guys like Fletcher Cox and Brandon Graham, Jason Kelsey, it's still. I mean, it's Big Red, and he did set us before Andy Reid came to coach Philadelphia. We weren't a great franchise. He really did set our franchise on the right path. He gave Howie Roseman a shot and so forth and so on. But in terms of this game, yeah,
and I get they're making storylines. I will always say, and I mean, the man Andy Reid, his son died on a Thursday, and Andy Reid didn't even miss a practice.
Yeah, which is kind of crazy, but he likes football coaching.
Hey,
if you were a football coach and I died and you were back to work the next day, I'd be kind of like haunting you. Like,
well,
dude,
if I was in the NFL, I think you would want me to keep. You would
No,
you have to, I'm going to go to your funeral. It's like the funeral's the next day.
You got to mourn a little bit.
Hey,
bro.
I can cry in my office.
Okay. Well, at least I know where we stand. I know where we're at, dog.
Hey, sometimes you need that distraction. All right? And these guys, it's not like, the plans were getting pushed off. There's plenty of people around, making sure.
And quite frankly, though, it's his son, not his brother.
Yeah,
even bigger
it's even bigger.
that should really fuck you up. But anywho,
the thing is, Chad, I was to say, I love the guy, but it's far enough removed. For the Super Bowl, I get it, but it's not really a storyline to me.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? All the hype and talk about Andy Reid, he only has 1 win in the Super Bowl.
Yeah?
You would think the guy was fucking Bill Belichick. You know what I mean?
I think he's just a guy
everyone loves.
Everyone. You can't not love him.
Did you see the picture of him getting off the plane in his horrible... He was dressed like we were at your... trying our tuxes on.
Oh, just misfitting?
Bro, these big balloon pants that were way too big and baggy.
You know what? I didn't see it, but I probably...
I'm sure you can
big
picture
men don't do the pleat on the waist. It makes you look like you have a second gut fupa down there.
It was way worse than that. It was like clown pants, bro.
Well, he can pull it off because he's Andy Reid.
Oh, that's how bad they were. Even he wasn't pulling it off. It was a bad picture. I should have showed it to you. But those 2 storylines I can tolerate. Now, this is the first year that we've been doing a weekly podcast, so I'm digging even deeper into the media coverage and the film and the breakdowns. And the more tiresome storyline is that Patrick Mahomes is a demigod, and that you would think he won more than 1 Super Bowl.
You would think this guy made an invention to save poor children. It's crazy. Every outlet, every source out there has nothing but there's not a negative on him.
And look,
he's got a brother that acts a fool.
That shit was
and no one's
embarrassing.
even mentioned it.
It got some mentions on Twitter anyway. Like that shit wasn't bad. What's his name? Jackson?
Yeah, or I don't know.
One thing I haven't seen mentioned, because you would get fired if you're part of the media, but I can say, have you noticed how often Patrick Mahomes does the retard tongue?
No.
Like when he's like posing for pictures, he like
he purposely puts his tongue out trying to be funny?
Subconsciously, no. He like
I know what you're talking about. I grew up with friends that always I would notice they would like do something weird with their tongue.
and when you do it as a pattern, it starts to make you I wish, Rachel, can you put a picture of Patrick Mahomes putting his tongue out? Because it's not just like, you know how Jordan used to do it?
Yeah.
And it was like cool and it looked like
Well, yeah, he was dunking while
dunking
he was doing
and shit.
it.
No, he does it where you're like, that kid went to a special school. And he sounds like a frog.
No, but I am enjoying it. Enough people have noticed it now. Maybe the ankle, his ankle being hurt, has made it more noticeable. He's running. But, dude, I've always said he runs like a mom, going out for her exercise.
Yeah.
His butt and thighs don't move. When he's, going from the sideline to the huddle, it looks like he's either got to take a piss or a shit, or, he's got weird hips or something. It's crazy he can move the way he does, but he looks like...
He's also one of the few players that wears all the pads.
Maybe.
So, he's got the girdle, the tailbone.
But
pad.
it's just like it's like his legs are too close together.
Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't look like an elite athlete, but he is a great player. But we need this game to be played because the storylines are fucking played out.
You know what I hope out of that? That maybe his head gets too big for him. Because he definitely is surrounded by yes men. I mean, to let his brother even come to the games, you still got to, you got to have people be like, that's not that bad, dude. It's cool. He was dancing. But, he's got to be surrounded by yes men. And I know players always say, I don't listen to the media, this and that. Yeah, you do. And you're getting your dick sucked 24/7 right now.
Yeah. I will say that the Chiefs fans have not been obnoxious for the most part. But... yeah, the media fawns over this guy so hard that, from an outside, from a non-Chiefs fan perspective, it's kind of like, bro, this is embarrassing.
Yeah.
He's just a quarterback. And like I said, you would think he was Tom Brady and he had, a ring for every
It's
finger.
like when a mom brags about her son all the time too much, where you're like, it's getting a little weird here.
Yeah.
And the whole ankle thing, he's doing all this crazy. He's a NFL quarterback. Of course he's going to rehab right after the game. That's this new thing he's doing. He's this super god of healing. It's like, well, how about our medical science has just gotten a lot better, and he has millions of dollars of medical staff and equipment to help heal this injury that's very common in football.
These are billion-dollar franchises. They got what they need, and they have toured all.
Yeah, it's not like he's just, we threw some ice on there and he got better. It's
Someone
crazy.
did say something interesting, though. I forget, because I've watched so many interviews and stuff. I forget who said it, but they were saying with a high ankle or a turf toe or something, you have to really be careful with the Toradol shot, because if you have a numb foot,
that could be bad.
You become completely uncoordinated. So it kind of like talking after the dentist when half your mouth is numb.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't even think about that. But in any case, he's banged up, Jalen's banged up, and we all have known that. It's just 2 weeks of media coverage really becomes the best part of the media coverage is hearing the international people and the questions they ask. Everyone's a good sport about it, but it's
Did you see the clip of one of the reporters? And I don't know the relationship because I didn't see the beginning and end of it. But someone said, "Hey, Rihanna said that she thinks you're the best quarterback ever," and he goes, "Well, my whole family loves her. So thank you, Rihanna." He goes, "I was just kidding. No, she didn't." And he had to play it cool, but I think I saw pain in his eyes.
What quarterback?
Mahomes. I'm sorry, did I not say?
No, really? No,
Yeah,
I didn't
so
see that.
Mahomes was on the podium, doing all their media, Super Bowl media, and that dude either is good friends with him or something, or has some big balls to be like, "Hey, Rihanna says she thinks you're the best quarterback ever." Psych!
That's great.
And I saw some pain in his eyes, but let's stop talking about him all the way.
Okay.
Because the Eagles are, I think, the better team. I think all around we're the better team. I think we're built for a fight better than they are.
Yeah.
All the pieces has seemed. We've had some magic Maddox coming back, all this, stuff. So, you want to jump into the roster breakdown here?
Let's get that done.
I think that's our meat and potatoes of this episode.
That'll build up just kind of our overall thoughts. But yeah.
So
what you should do is.
I had a thing here.
Oh, you have a thing ready to go?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That way, I'm just going to do tallies. I'm not going to write down our grades, but just kind of a point scoring.
Okay.
So we'll start with coaching here. And this one's tough for me because, once again, I do love Andy Reid. And he's been around forever. I mean, he's one of those – coaching's cool in the NFL. It's like a family tree.
It's also a big deal.
Yeah, and it's like there's seriously it's like four major families. It's like a mob thing. It's like there's like four major families of coaching trees. And like all of the people that Andy Reid has coached under, been coached above, taught. I mean, so it's hard. I think I have to give a point to Reid, even though it's very impressive, Nick Sirianni and that young coaching staff of the turnaround in 2 years we've done.
Well, you could put me down for that as well. But I would say that if I was going to do a letter grade, like the Eagles are an A-, and the Chiefs are an A. And here's the thing. Steve Spagnuolo, their defense coordinator, has been around a long time, does a lot of really creative things. Jonathan Gannon, our D coordinator, has been good, but he doesn't have the track record.
It's almost like new guns versus old guns in this.
And here's the thing. We experienced Andy Reid here for 14 years, and I remember better than you. I'm older. He's not the greatest big game coach.
No, he's pretty notorious for game clock management issues.
So I still give them the edge.
I think prep.
He's better.
Andy Reid's better. I think, yeah. I mean, the dude in mid-game will just pull off a trick play because he's like, we worked on it. I think Sirianni and their coaching staff might be a better in-game coach, but prep is so big in football,
And they had 2 weeks to prepare for this game. And Coach Reid is notorious for his scripted, first 15 plays being really special. So if we can hold them like a field goal.
Yeah, I mean.
Or even 7.
Don't be surprised if this guy's going to do it, if he goes for the kick and does an onside kick. He's done, not in the Super Bowls, but he's done that in regular season big games. I remember against the Cowboys, we were the team to kick off, and he did an onside kick, and we recovered it.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised for a play action trying to get a 90-yard chunk on that first play.
Yeah. I think they might have to do something crazy. Because you definitely don't want to be behind in this game if you're the Chiefs, because then we could just run the ball. But, so we both agree the edge is the Chiefs.
Yep.
In coaching.
Special teams, this is hard to grade. I'm going to go Eagles just because I have a lot of confidence in Elliott. I just think he's got ice in his veins. I don't think you can rattle him. He's won a Super Bowl now
as a rookie.
Yeah, so
Jake Elliott's playoff kicking record, if you will, is really, really good.
And I just don't know enough about the Chiefs' special teams. I think we're going with Kern.
I haven't heard otherwise, so I'm going to say
and now that's our weakness, unfortunately.
That's why I'm going to give the edge to the Chiefs.
Okay.
All these things matter in a game of this magnitude.
Yeah.
One bad punt. And I also give them the edge because they have more dangerous returners than us. When I break it down, I go, this could be we need 3 points with 4 seconds left and a 51-yard field goal. It'll come down to. It's going to be a close game, I think. All right, so we disagree on that one.
Yeah.
Again, it's close. But
moving on to the O-line here. I got confidence the Eagles have a better offensive line.
This is one we can basically just skip. They have a solid pass blocking line, the Chiefs, but the Eagles have superior pass blocking, but more so our run blocking ability is just – we have 2 guys that don't start for our team that would start for most other teams.
Possibly 3.
So I'll give them a B, but we get an A, if not an A+. So
led by a awesome veteran.
Jason Kelsey's definitely gonna be in the Hall of Fame.
Lane
Lane Johnson, he has to have like 3 more good years, but he's trending that way.
and Jordan Mailata is just a beast of a man.
Yeah, how come that's not a bigger storyline?
Yeah.
He's playing in the Super Bowl. He played rugby up until like 4 years ago.
4 years ago,
He didn't
yeah.
know anything about football.
Well, because people don't want to give us any accolades. But that's fine. That's fine because I think our team likes – it's like what they always tell the Marines. Like, the reason we don't feed you good food, the reason you're cold, the reason we don't let you sleep, we want you pissed off all the time and ready to go.
Yeah.
So going to the defensive line.
This is a close one.
This is a closer one than I initially thought. They keep getting better.
Well, apparently, Chris Jones has become the best player in the best defensive lineman in the league just because of what he did against the Bengals last week.
Yeah.
Which was an amazing performance, but like I watched enough coverage to know that nobody was saying Chris Jones was bar none the best defensive lineman in the league until after that Bengals
We
game.
have 3, possibly 4 people you can say are elite defensive linemen
Listen,
right now.
They have good players, and we have good players, but they've only got 4 good players. We got like 9.
That's our rotation. That's what we've been saying all year. I mean, other teams rotate, obviously, but there's not a weak – like our weak link is like a Dominic Sue.
Yeah. No, and people who really break down these teams and film have said, like, yeah, Chris Jones, Frank Clark, they're great players, but behind them, let's put it this way. If we're running the ball down their throats and they have to rotate these guys a bunch, they're in trouble. So I'll give the edge to the Eagles.
All righty.
You agree?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I messed up scoring for a second there. Okay, so secondary. The Chiefs, in my mind, for the last couple of years have been offense heavy, defense weak. Like they won games, but I think their defense has gotten better. But I think we have to, when they're performing, and I think there's no way they can't be excited. I think we have a better secondary right now, and I would go as far as to say there might be a B- for the Chiefs and an A for our secondary.
They've got some good players. They can play some man, which we haven't really seen, but they're young. They've got like 3 rookies out there, which is impressive because they perform pretty well. But we've got pedigree in Bradbury and Slay, and we've got C.J. Gardner-Johnson and Avonte Maddox.
I was going to say the Avonte Maddox is the real push it over the edge for me. And then Blankenship, who has been playing great for us.
Yeah.
So it's like we got things, I think, and
again, we have more depth.
Yeah.
And trust me, their secondary is better than it seems on paper because, again, these guys are young. But to say that they're better than the Eagles secondary, I mean, it would be silly. Because the weak link in that secondary, I guess, is Marcus Epps. And he's a pretty good player.
Yeah.
He's solid.
Just tackle better, please.
Yeah.
Linebackers, I'm going to have to let you lead this. I can't say I know a lot. I've watched a little bit, but it doesn't seem like anything stands out as Chiefs linebackers.
Nah, they're athletic guys. I'm going to give the edge to the Chiefs just because we play a lot of 5-man fronts with just T.J. Edwards. So, like, we don't really use linebackers much. Kaiser White's an okay player, but I anticipate we're going to see a lot of 5-man fronts again because it's worked so well.
Mm-hmm.
And they've got some. I mean, last week we saw Greenlaw and we saw Fred Warner. Nobody's that good at linebacker.
Yeah, I mean, 49ers. I just I'm going to go with you on this one because I don't have a leg to stand on. I just think if we have a weak point in our defense, I think our defensive front is awesome. Our secondary, so the weak point has to be our linebackers at that point. So I'm going to give it to the Chiefs as well.
Yeah, that's one of those like B- B type matchups. No, there's no stars on either side. Now, wide receivers is a easy win for the Eagles because of how many guys they have banged up.
Yep.
Miko Hardman's back on IR. Juju Smith-Schuster is banged up. He's going to play. Everyone's going to play in this game, but we have A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and Dallas Goedert, and really, they just have Travis Kelce and some guys that are fast.
You know who I think we might see a big play come out of? Because he's been quiet because we haven't needed it. I think we might see Watkins do something here. We've tried doing jet sweeps with him, but I feel like he's not bad. I feel like he's gotten forgotten.
He's made some big mistakes.
Yes, the fumble.
And I hope you're wrong. I don't want the ball I don't want it near him.
I'm just saying.
You might be right because we're gonna run a lot of 11 personnel in this game. It's just a good matchup.
I don't think we need it. I'm just saying, you got to throw a couple monkey wrenches in the Super Bowl, right? They got 2 weeks of all of our tape of exactly what we do, and that's where I still feel good about the Eagles, even though the media is trying to get me down on my birds. I still don't think they've seen our full playbook. We've gotten 2 playoff games.
I hope you're right, because it has been. It's awesome to just run the ball down other teams' throat, but you can't pretend that we've been impressive from an offensive standpoint.
Yeah, I don't know. We got 2 playoff games where we got to rest starters, and don't you think if there is that magic play you've been holding on to, that's a fourth quarter thing. You don't throw that out when you have the lead in both your playoff games.
I hope we don't have to use it. I hope we just beat their ass. And there's a potential that happens. And just before we move on from receivers, we're both going Eagles, right?
Yes. Yeah.
But I don't think Travis Kelce is that much better than Dallas Goedert. The difference is, in our offense, Dallas Goedert is just a tight end. In their offense, Travis Kelce is allowed to do basically what he wants.
And especially with them being banged up, he has to do that. You know what I mean? Like the ball gets spread around more for us, and we run the ball because we get up and we run the ball. So, I agree with you.
Yeah,
I think he's
the
better.
best tight end in the game. I agree, but he also has the leeway to do what he wants.
I mean, you watch game film. Tell me this: does he get his nose in is he a good blocker?
Yeah, he's a good all-around player.
Okay,
he really is.
Because that's why I love when I see Goddard. Like he likes to block, it seems like. I could see it very easy being like, I don't want to be
It's another guy who's had a quiet playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. But when you have A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith against Juju Smith-Schuster, and
who's been on kind of a downfall ever since he's left the Steelers.
He's not that great.
Yeah, he was good. Like they were like, oh, we don't need Antonio Brown anymore around here. We got Juju, and it's
he's
like
he's not a number one. And, and the Chiefs found that out. So definitely the Eagles. Apparently, as far as running backs, Isaiah Pacheco is the best running back in the fucking league. Everybody loves this kid. I root for him because he's from Jersey. He's a local kid, but he's not even played one full season yet. So how can he be the darling of the NFL? Because he runs hard.
Here's the thing. I'm gonna put it simply like this. I think after watching this, we have 2 number 1 running backs on a team. I think if we get rid of Sanders next year, Gainwell can be our number 1 guy.
I don't know if I agree with that, but he's been good in the playoffs. Gainwell's been great in the playoffs.
Who knows? But I think just our depth, the way we do it, and also I know we're just talking about running back, but when you throw that our quarterback also can get yards, it just makes your running back core that much.
Makes your whole offense roll.
It makes it easier to run the ball.
Yeah.
So,
but if we're going just who's got the better players, I'm going to give the edge to the Chiefs because Pacheco and then Jared McKinnon has like 60 receptions in the year.
Yeah.
He's definitely an X factor for them. I think because we watch him every week, we're like in love with Gainwell because of the playoffs. But I think if you really ask personnel people around the league, at best, I think this would be a push. Because the thing is, we have such a great offensive lineman. It makes our running back look like disgusting.
I guess it's been how long since we've had to test our running back core? Like, Miles Sanders scored 2 touchdowns without getting touched. So it's like, is he good?
That's right. That's the point I'm making. It's really like, I'm going to give this one to the Chiefs, but not by a lot, again. And then quarterback, we love Jalen. He hasn't looked great in the playoffs.
And experience-wise, you got to go Mahomes, even with the ankle. But it's a high sprain, so since it's happened, it's been 3 weeks. They say it's usually a 2 to 4 week thing. So
he's not going to be healthy, but he's going to be feeling better.
And we both going Chiefs there.
Definitely. Yeah, we're not that big a homer.
Yeah.
You know. And the experiencing does matter. There is a chance. I don't think there's a good chance, but there's a chance that this game's a little too big for Jalen Hurts. I doubt it, but we have to see it.
And here's my only thing about Mahomes is when he was struggling last week, he threw a bad ball or something, I seen that mentality that when I coached high school kids. They miss a shot, they look at their gloves. He was kind of doing that with his ankle. Like, all of a sudden he'd be fine, throw a bad ball, and on third,
limping a bit more,
than he was before that.
Yeah,
so
I get that.
Not saying he's mentally not a very strong fortitude guy, but everyone has a.
He was taking the out.
Yes. So
listen, I will say this: he will put the ball in harm's way if you get pressure on him. He definitely will. So if we can get him on the ground, because he's so good at eluding the pass rush.
Mm-hmm.
Just sidestepping and throwing wonky ass passes. He really is amazing.
He does some really. I mean, because they talk about arm track, and how fast he can just do some really fucking basically underhanding, sidearming balls around people.
He gets the ball out of his. He doesn't take sacks really, but this is the best pass rush they're gonna face. But he'd rather throw a risky pass than take a sack. So we'll see. But yeah, definitely. What's the tally?
So I have 6 points for the Eagles, 3 points for the Chiefs. That sounds like I'm thinking the Eagles are going to blow them out. There was a lot of close calls there, and I didn't want to do any pushes.
Okay.
You had 4 points for the Eagles, 5 points for the Chiefs.
I had more for the Chiefs, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Coaching, specials.
No, you went special teams for the Chiefs.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Coaching, specials, linebackers. Running back, okay, yeah. Fuck.
I mean, hey, it's closer than I called the 49ers game. I just, talking my ass a little bit with that one, but
they're a good team.
Like the
league is the league got the game with the two best teams. I don't think you can really argue with that. And there's a chance though that this flips because, like I said, Andy Reid is a great coach, great preparer, great with the bye week, but he's not the greatest big game coach.
And I think sometimes he's got a great X's and O's minds, and he's a good players coach. But as I think sometimes he thinks he can do more than he can. Not not a risky 4th and 1, but like a 3rd and 6. Well, we do that, trying to go deep or like doing a trick play. I mean, they were throwing hook and ladders last week.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a hook and ladder since my middle school football.
Travis Kelce out there throwing laterals, and we'll see. They better not be disrespectful. If they beat us and they run fucking these trick plays and shit, it's going to take me a while to get over
I
that.
think that is how they would have to beat us. I think solid football, if this is a normal football game without some wonky punts hitting a wire, refs. Oh, that's another thing. Or let me finish. Without some wonky shit happening, some trickery, I think we should win this game.
On paper, you're right.
But it's a Super Bowl. You never know what happens. You never know who's been out partying. You never know who's been soaking in the limelight a little bit too much.
It's all about turnovers too. That's
the big number of this game.
If it's a clean game, the Eagles should win.
Yeah. But no, one thing I wanted, and I don't know I forget his name, but this officiating staff is like by far throws more penalties than any. Like, I'm talking like doubling other people.
I don't even want to know.
They average, I think it was 16 penalty flags a game.
Well, that's a lot. That's way too many.
And they're the staff because I don't know how they grade that,
Shame on the NFL if they allow these referees to just fill this whole game with penalties.
No one wants to.
How stupid can you be? All right, so we'll see.
Yeah, because that is. Dude, when you lose a game and it's like, damn, they just outpassed us. They just out. But when it's like there's a 15-yard penalty every quarter, against us or whatever it is, it just. or the holdings that are not even close to the play. They had nothing to do with it. Shit hurts my butt.
It should. I can't imagine the NFL letting that happen.
Yeah. So let's go to, I guess, probably the biggest part of the show is what our score predictions are going to be. And I'm going to say this confidently. I know he hasn't showed up. I have all my trust in Jalen Hurts. I like the cut of his jib. I like the fabric he's made out of. He doesn't seem to be getting too high, too low, or anything. I got the Eagles winning 32-27.
Okay, yeah, I got it 30-23 Eagles. Listen, if this game is a 3-point game, I think the Chiefs win. If it's more than a 3-point game, the Eagles win. In other words, they're not going to bust our ass. And in a Super Bowl, if you win by double digits, if you win by 10 points, that's a big win, right? Everyone's predicting a close game.
I know what we're going to have to deal with. I think the way this game goes, look at the statistics. I think we're going to get up on them, and then we're going to have clenched butt cheeks for the second half of the third and fourth quarter.
Yeah, Mahomes doesn't go away.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't. What I want to see is us just fucking physically manhandle these dudes like we did to these other teams.
Do you want the ball first?
I don't know. I'm too nervous. I want to stay out of it. I want to stay out of it.
I've been saying I want the ball first, go down, and score. But like you said, Andy Reid and his Chiefs and his first, they score a lot on their first drive. And the way I said I want our offense to go and score on the 49ers our first drive, I want our defense to come out here and be like, you ain't dealt with this yet, Mahomes.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Hassan Riddick is going to be up that ass. That's what I want. I want Mahomes going, we got to block that guy.
Yeah.
And then our offense goes out and scores.
You want the defense to set a tone.
Mm-hmm. And I think with players like Cox, BG's already talking shit. He's probably calling hotel phones trying to talk shit right now.
Yeah. It'd be really nice to see that defense go out there and force a punt.
So,
Who you got?
Who you got? Who I got?
This is where we give a bold prediction about a player or a unit in the game.
We usually try to stick to a player.
No, that's Bum Beast.
Bum Beast, yeah, but this is Super Bowl. We can do whatever we want. Birds are there, so I can say.
That's true.
You know who I got? And this goes back to the core of my football loving, growing up, knowing what I was going to do, is I got the offensive line. I got a man like Jason Kelce who's been there, done it, has all the respect in the league. I got Lane Johnson playing injured and holding Bosa to 0 pressure, 0 sacks. We got everything, all of them, even our backups. You can hurt 3 of us, and we still got starters. So I got our offensive line. I will say it's a Super Bowl. I think a sack will get let up with 4 pressures, which that's not anything bold, but I think we have 150 yards rushing, and Jason Kelce is going to prove that Chris Jones is not as great as apparently the world has made him.
So you don't think he's going to have that sack?
I don't think it's going to be from him.
Get
no.
blanked? Okay. Yeah. If we get 150 rushing yards, we should win.
And added in there, obviously, Jalen's yards, rushing yards get put in there.
Yeah, it's a big part of the offense, right?
So
give me Avonte Maddox and C.J. Gardner-Johnson holding Travis Kelce to under 75 yards receiving.
I think
if they win, if the Chiefs win, he's going to have a bigger game than that. Right?
I think we hold him to 75 yards and we don't turn the ball over. We have to win that game, right?
You would think so.
I don't. So yes, that is. I don't think that's bold either. Maddox.
Well, let's put it this way: it's bold only because they need to get Travis Kelce loose to win.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't, how can they score?
I mean, their offense is based on finding openings for him.
And he's allowed to freewheel. If it's zone, he's allowed to run his own route and sit down where he wants. If it's man, he's going to find a way to get open.
And they'll put him anywhere.
Anywhere. That's
They'll
what I'm
put him
saying.
in the slot. They'll put him out wide.
That offense has to go through him, especially with all the receivers hurt. So, if we hold him under 75 yards receiving, we win. That's what I want to happen. And I think Maddox and CJ are up for the task.
You think, well, with that 75 yards, is that no touchdowns?
Yeah.
Okay. That's bold. Because, I mean, you can hold him under 75, and he's a big target in the red zone.
But it's like one of those things where it's like we know that's what they want to do.
Yeah.
And how
true.
many teams have guys like Avonte Maddox and C.J. Garner-Johnson that they can kind of play with? Because we already have 2 lockdown corners.
Yeah.
We could play with these guys, so.
God, I can't.
You starting to freak out yet?
I've been. I'm waking up going like, fuck, dude, Sunday.
Tomorrow,
It's weird. It's like, yeah, I want it to come, but I don't want it to come. Either way, the NFL's over for the year. It's just, I don't know how I'm going to react. Last time the Eagles lost the Super Bowl, I didn't go to school for 2 days and cried.
Yeah.
I cried when we won.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a big deal. It really is. Too big of a deal.
Yes, but you know what? It's our soap opera, and this is season finale.
It is the season finale. And I'm excited.
But so to maybe end on a little fun here. Not end, but let's give you just a couple quick. Wait, what?
Wait, what?
And this is to get us talking about the other parts of the league, which they're not playing anymore, so it's hard to talk about them. But hey, 49ers, get some class, okay? Could you win with a little bit of grace? Or lose with some grace. I can see a lot of the other players, but Christian McCaffrey, you really lost some points with me, dude. You're being a little bit of a bitch. You're still complaining. The whole team's complaining, but I thought you had a better head on your shoulders. It was a big game.
Is there something specific that he said is bothering?
No, it's just nothing crazier, but it just basically like they were robbed. And it's like, dude, injuries happen in the NFL.
One thing I liked what he said, because I would say the same exact thing. He said, someone asked him, like, so who do you want to see win, the Eagles or the Chiefs? And he's like, I want them both to lose. And that would be my exact take.
I say that every time, like, the Cowboys and Giants play.
Yeah.
I go, can they both lose?
Yeah. But, yeah, the whole team, and I get that internally they feel like they got shafted a little. They didn't get shafted, but they got a bad beat.
Listen.
But they weren't going to win.
Yeah, and do you want to go to the Super Bowl with, what was his name, Johnson?
He was fucking majorly concussed, so who knows what they would have done.
So what, are you going to try and win the Super Bowl with a Wildcat with Christian back there? It's just, it wouldn't have been good for the league. It wouldn't have even been fun for you guys.
You weren't going to win.
Yeah.
They weren't going to, even with Brock Purdy, you weren't going to win. Look, I mean,
you guys weren't.
Your defensive starters were in, and we scored 31.
And yeah, everyone's like, well,
they turned it over.
Bosa had something. Maybe he got a cut. Okay, everyone has bleeding on that field at the end of the game, so everyone's been cleated in the leg. Lane Johnson shut him down.
Just suck it up. They need to suck it up.
But yeah, that's that. You guys quit being sore baby losers. At least we own it up and we lose.
Yeah, I would be a little embarrassed if our players were reacting that way.
Yeah, that's one thing I say. Eagles fans were relentless, whatever. It's because we want our team to be good. We don't go, we lost because of you guys. We say we lost because we weren't good enough and this was our weaknesses.
We also have a lot more experience losing in big games than they do, I guess. The 49ers have done pretty well.
Yeah, but you got something?
I got 2 things. Brett Favre is suing 3 people. One of them is Shannon Sharp, my boy, over defamation because of all the things that they've come out and said. Remember, he got caught with some kind of like fraud at his daughter's college.
Oh,
for like using like welfare funds to build them like a new tennis court or some shit like that.
Yep.
So he's suing 3 people. They're all pretty high profile people, but one of them is Shannon Sharp. And I just can't imagine what Shannon said. I'm gonna find out, obviously, what Shannon said specifically that has him as one of the 3 defendants here.
Is he hurting for money?
Brett?
Yeah.
I don't know what his deal. I mean, this is a guy who was sending dick pics to reporters as elite MVP
I can look past the dick pics. That was early enough that this guy didn't realize this shit can be sent to other people.
I can't look past that. What do you need to do that for?
Okay,
You're fucking weird, dude.
But my thing is, when you started attacking the league, we always thought, you know the risks. You made a lot of money. You were very successful. You know, everybody knows getting their head hit a bunch is not good. I don't care. They knew that 500 years ago. They knew that in BC times, man. You shouldn't get hit in the head a lot. But when you get paid millions of dollars and then want to sue the NFL because you're CTE, you were so respected to me. I was like, he was like awesome when I first started liking the NFL.
Yeah.
And I was like, that dude's cool. He's rugged. He's funny. You know what I mean? And it's just like you're losing respect.
Some people are much better football players than people, you know? And here's the thing, like, he got caught doing something grimy, and, like, it's just, the defamation thing is, like, these people are reporting on something you did, not, like, just, telling stories. Like, you got caught. Now you're just bringing it back up again.
For real, yeah. Because
nobody's been
forgot
talking
about
that. Exactly. No one's even been talking about it. Here's the thing. You're not going to clear your name. Even if somehow you win this lawsuit, people already have locked it into their minds that you're a scumbag.
Yeah.
And that's just how it is. Add on to that all the scumbag shit he's done in his career and unretiring 6 times and all just...
Going to play for the enemy and shit.
Go away,
yeah.
right? People need to learn when to go away. Because like you said...
Has the Levi's money ran out?
Not Levi's, Wrangler. Wrangler guy?
Has the copper fit stuff money run out?
It's like,
dude, I'm sure you can get a Viagra commercial. Like, you don't... If you're doing this for money, there's other ways, bro. Go talk to your PR person.
It reminds me of... like when Hulk Hogan was suing all these people because of that sex tape that got leaked. And it's like, bro, you just got to go away. You're just making yourself...
It's a 24/7 news cycle. The shit disappears
People just
eventually.
can't handle getting caught.
It's going to be a month of crap. And then every once in a while a meme will come out. But you got off pretty scotch-free from what I know about it. And now we're bringing it back to the surface. So, dumb on you.
Yeah. So. And then my last wait what here... as another investigation fraud type deal, Russell Wilson has been an investigation has shown that he's gotten like millions in charitable donations to the Russell Wilson Foundation, and he's only spent about a quarter per dollar of that money on charitable causes. So he's been pocketing that money. Again, this isn't a rumor. It's an actual investigation that has come out saying
that is,
and he's already a weird weirdo.
There's special places in hell for that, dude. Like,
how much money do you need, bro?
He's the second or first highest paid quarterback right now, right? I think it's the second. Yeah.
But
is $264 million not enough?
Real bad look. And you know what pisses
after the
me off?
season he had?
Because of the people that own the Broncos and how much money is involved in each of these franchises. Like,
they're going to try and sweep it up.
He's going to skate.
Yeah.
Like, he might have
there's going to be a scapegoat somewhere.
He's not going to have to fucking... this isn't going to end his career, which it should.
Yeah, there's going to be an accountant or something that takes the hit on this.
Yeah, you should get Brett Favre.
That's so grimy. What is his foundation for? Probably something with youth. It usually is.
Yeah, some kind of... it's just called the Russell... It's probably some Christian toucher bullshit is what it is. Now, if there's anything wrong with being Christian...
But there's something wrong with stealing from charities for kids.
And I'll say it. There's a certain type of Christian person that freaks everybody out.
Yeah.
Carson Wentz was like that. Doug Peterson was a little bit like that. Anywho, Frank Reich is like that. Even though I respect him as a coach, he's a little weird. Anywho,
My only flip side to that is my life is so awesome. There has to be a God. Thank you, dude. I'm in the NFL. You know how much money I make for playing a game? This is sweet.
You're right. You're right. I do understand.
I'm gonna wear some crosses, and then also I probably can hide some of this money through some church or something.
Yeah. Well, look at Russell Wilson. So,
That is some what?
that came out today.
That's some grime on grime, dude.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I guess then just real quick, you see, I guess, I'm not sure who it is, but I think the MLB puts out top 100 players or something like that, and Phillies have 8 of them.
In the top 100?
Or I think they rate the top 10 people in every position. So like Harper was 3 for right field. Hoskins was, I think, like 5 or 6. JT was number 1. We had 2 pitchers in there, or maybe just 1. I forget.
Probably just 1.
Yeah. And then obviously Schwarber. I think he might have been 1 or 3. I forget.
That's what, DH or fielder?
Fielder.
Okay. Well, no,
And
that
then
sounds about right.
number 1, and then obviously best shortstop in the league.
Really? Oh, that's great. I mean, personally, I think he's the best, but there's a lot of people who would say, and he's a great all-around player. Trey Turner, you're talking.
And
about.
I don't know how they grade them or whatnot, but I just seen that and had a sweet poster with it, and I was like, that's awesome. So,
well, it's not news to say the Phillies have a great team. So, yeah.
Have you ever heard
pitchers and catchers report in like 6 days?
Any more about who was the big name player that was supposed to go to the Mets that ended up like something with the physical?
Oh, Carlos Correa. You ended up back with the Twins for way less money.
So he's just definitely there then?
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh. I'd like to know. It'll come out eventually what happened there.
Yeah, it is weird. I think his agent was trying some funny shit to get him a big deal, and like, it's the worst look is really the Mets. Because, again, they announced that deal before they even did the physical. Pissed the league off.
Which is really interesting to think about. Of just, like, the social media. Like, usually if a player fucks up with social media, it's like, come on, man. But when a whole organization is like, dude, he's coming here, and the paperwork's, the ink's not even wet yet. You know, like.
Yeah, your doctor doesn't even look. And a franchise like the Mets, like, not that I like them, but a lot of people do.
Yeah.
Sixers traded Thibault,
and didn't get much in return. We've been looking good. I can't say I've done a deep dive in them. I will. So I'm not sure what happened there. If it was,
we're looking like the same team that gets to like the third round of the playoffs. The NBA is kind of lame because you really have to have a superstar-studded team to win the whole thing. So I just don't think that can be the expectation for this team. I think if they should be shooting for, like Eastern Conference finals, maybe a showing in the finals, but they can't win it. And now fucking KD's in with the Suns, Kyrie's in Dallas. The whole league, it's been a crazy trade deadline.
So, go back just a quick second. It's funny that KD made me think of this because every time I see his legs, I go, how does that support that human being?
That's why he tore his Achilles and fucking knees up.
Remember the awesome girl from Last Chance University, the student director lady from the first 2 seasons?
The black lady or
no,
the white lady?
The white lady who just was awesome.
Yeah.
And she ended up going and doing her own company. Well, she was on some podcast, and she said, I think it was Florida State, I think it was the Sentinels, when the one coach would come, she thought it was weird. She thought, like, he asked players to lift their pants up to look at their ankles. And she goes, I think that's weird. And ask him, like, that's...
No, that's pretty normal, I would think.
Well, no, he goes, I can tell how athletic a person is if they have skinny ankles. And he's like, it hasn't got, he's the best
What
recruit.
athlete was this?
I don't know. It was just a couple, because those guys go and look at a handful of people.
Uh-huh.
I just thought it was interesting because I was like, if my son was getting recruited and a guy came up and was like, let me see your ankles. I'd be like, whoa. And it creeped me out a little bit.
No, you'd be like, oh shit, he knows about our family ankles.
Yeah, but no, it's just funny
No,
because
that
she asked.
actually doesn't sound weird to me. That makes total sense.
I just thought
Just like you
skinny
look
ankles.
at thighs and butts.
Yeah, but the ankles, like, yeah, obviously, like, strong hamstring, you can see big legs, but the skinny ankles, I was like, to me, sometimes that seems like maybe they're got weak feet or something if you got a skinny ankle.
Well, what's the opposite of a skinny ankle? A fat ankle? That
Well,
doesn't
you don't
look
want a fat
athletic.
ankle. But I saw that clip and just remembered it.
Yeah.
It's funny that KD sparked that for me. Flyers, whatever. We have a hockey
You
team.
still playing hockey?
But
Go Birds.
go Birds. One little thing, Steven's birthday's coming up. And I
Yippee.
figure we'll just celebrate it on the Super Bowl because you're obviously going to come over. We're not going to go to Philly for the game.
Okay. I didn't think so.
It's so expensive for us to get there. And then I'm going, what are we going to go watch it in a bar? You don't drink. And I would like to be out there on the streets, but it's like, it's too hard for us.
It's like I was saying, I didn't think it was really for the game. I thought it was for the parade. But that's an if we win thing, and it's not like drive down, enjoy it, and leave type deal.
Yeah, and also our house that we would stay at, I think my dad doesn't live there anymore because he's moving.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Like I said, I'm pretty superstitious. The last time the Eagles won the Super Bowl, we watched it here.
We won it here. I'm thinking about removing half the couch because the furniture store messed up, and I only had half a sectional, and we sat in lawn chairs. I don't think I'm going to go that far, but
You're gonna regret that shit if they lose.
I'm going to burn that couch if they lose. What do you want your birthday meal to be? What do you want Rachel's? I asked her, and she said she would cook you a birthday meal. Because I know what dessert you want.
Mm-hmm. Cheesecake all day.
Because we're going to have some snackies during the game. Light, because we're going to be moving around a lot.
I'm thinking either chili, because I haven't had chili in a long ass time.
My thing with the chili is there's a lot of variations of it, so you'd have to have your hand a little bit in it of how you would want it.
Beans and beef and peppers and onions. That or like ever since we talked about the other day, I've been craving a meatball.
You're in luck.
Dude, there is that ESP or whatever. I was Rachel right before the show, before you got here. We're having meatballs for dinner
Tonight?
Yeah.
Word? Well, does that count as my birthday meal?
No,
Yeah, now we're
I
not
was listening to the
having
podcast.
birthday
They were talking about meatballs. I was like, damn, yo, I wanted like a good meatball. And they're not homemade, but they do have pork and beef in them. They take a half hour in that. So when we get done here, we're gonna have some spaghetti and meatballs.
It is kind of weird, isn't it? Because that's usually not even my go-to meal. But
think about it.
And we have some garlic bread.
Right?
yeah, that shit's dangerous.
We've been doing good. I think I've lost some weight, but
Maybe for my birthday meal, we'd have to probably get it in advance. I still want to have Ironborn pizza.
we could do that.
And yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're open on a Sunday.
Yeah, but it's a Super Bowl.
Yeah, but they're not like a wing joint. All they do is those pizzas. So I'm pretty sure we could get them.
Okay. Yeah, I think maybe we'll do that.
All right.
Maybe we'll buy chili ingredients as a backup and plan to order that.
Well, the thing with chili is we can, as soon as you wake up, you basically can start that. And you can always reheat chili, but
Chili's
Ironborn?
also like not terrible.
No. Yeah, so maybe we'll do that.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah, but besides that, we have been Homesick Philly Bros. I'm Gene Labordi. This is my brother, Steven Labordi. Rachel on the ones and twos. Go Birds. And just please, come on. Thank you for tuning in. Homesick Philly Bros presented by AML Media. And watch them eagles fly. GLES Eagles. Go Birds. Go Birds.